Today I'm driving a 2001 Buick Century in silver with a V8 engine. It has one standard factory hubcap and three aftermarket hubcaps. A chip in the windshield right above the steering wheel. The steering wheel itself has a crack in the foam coating. The driver's door has a dent in it, and the passenger side has a scratch in the paint. And it is the perfect car to be picking up my co-host, Jake Hole, for this week's episode of Podcasters in Cars Getting Coffee. Alright, I'm recording.
Really?
Yeah, starting off strong.
Oh.
I figured we can jump right into after the fact during the drive, and then do
Okay, that's fine. Works for me.
So
how do I move this seat back? Dear God, I'm gonna kill myself. Are you serious?
No kidding. There's a bar under your left leg, right leg. You're gonna pull it up, and then it'll shove you back. There you go.
For those of you who can't see us, because you never will, I'm like 1,000 feet tall. So.
And every passenger that has ever been in my car, other than him and my brother, my brother's not been in this car for months. Everyone else is like 4 feet tall.
No. Yeah, no, it's the downside of being tall. The upside is that I'll probably be accepted for more jobs in the future in the business industry.
And NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean, that dream's never dying. I'm gonna play the NBA. I'm gonna be the best NBA player, and then I'm gonna quit to do baseball. That's my plan. I'm gonna Michael Jordan it.
Yep.
That's the only way to really truly be a star.
No, absolutely.
Is to be really good at something and then just decide I want to do something else now. Yep. And honestly, now that I say that in that way, that's like the best way to be, like to go about things. You're like, I'm the best at this. All right, let me do something else.
What is going on in this intersection?
Well, that person didn't go in the left turn lane and turn left, because that intersection is one of the most dangerous intersections in our area, because it's a three-way intersection with lights that don't, like, it, I don't know how to explain it, but when there's pedestrians, it makes that intersection 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, that was all just kind of silly business.
And also drivers around here are dumb. Most drivers are dumb, though. Everybody says their area is the worst drivers. It's because every area has terrible drivers.
From my personal experience, everyone's bad at driving except for me. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, I say that, and then I realized I have been in more. It's taking me this long to think about how many accidents I've been in. It's more than a handful.
I do hold the honor of I've been in multiple car accidents, and every single one of them, I was either not in the car at the time, it was parked, so I was completely not involved, or I was in the car but stopped at a stop sign and got hit by someone. I've never been moving while someone else hit me, so I've been completely innocent of any wrongdoing every time. Yeah,
see, I've always, not always, but more often than not, I was the cause. This isn't libel in court, right? You can't use this libel. Is that the word?
I'm not recording a podcast. We're on a dispatch call with 911 right now, actually.
This I'm looking for me for weeks.
The cheapest sting operation imaginable.
It's the kid who cries every time he gets in a small accident because he knows his parents are going to have to pay for the damages.
Yeah, we've already got him, but for some reason we want more evidence just to make him feel bad about himself. Well, you know,
and that's not a lie. I pretty much cry every time because it's like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to pay this. My parents are paying this.
It's also not a major satire on how ineffective and like just massive bullies police officers are, because they really don't provide any service in the instance of a car accident other than being rude.
And see, that's the thing. The only thing they're good for is
condescension.
No, is is essentially writing tickets for minor infractions, be it parking or like traffic infractions, speeding,
Yeah.
changing lanes, whatever. But it's like, other than that, they're really not helpful because, I
Well,
mean,
they're
as we've already said, we've both been robbed, and all they do is this fill out a report and don't really do anything about it. It's not
yeah,
like they have detectives going out. Like, as much as you want CSI to be a
yeah.
thing, it's not how
No, it's all
cops work.
propaganda.
Like, that's only for like legitimate,
For you,
crimes. But
yeah,
yeah.
for you. Well, no, I was the victim of a felony. It's a
Well, no,
pretty
not
legitimate crime.
not that. I meant
Oh
murder and
boy.
stuff.
No, right, yeah, yeah. But
I
like
guess other thing that doesn't make
assault
other
with a
things not
deadly
legitimate.
weapon is like something they should have taken somewhat
We need
seriously.
assault with a deadly weapon against
Yeah,
this dude in the
this.
fucking
Of
Hummer
course, it's in a Humvee.
H2.
Fuck you,
Jesus fuck.
buddy. But no, yeah,
Anyway,
like for me, what it was a matter of like, uh, angrily telling me what I should have done to like be better about not getting hit by a car while I was stopped. And it
yeah,
was like, what did you? Whose job is it to prevent
yeah,
crimes? I was stopped in a car and got rear-ended. I'm not, and it wasn't a matter of like, well, maybe you shouldn't have been stopped. It was a
yeah,
matter of like, well, you know, you could have placed a report at a you could have done it a little bit different. You could have called a
yeah.
different time. You could have called, and it's like I didn't just do your job. And for you, they asked you like, you got any leads by the? And they're like, hey,
I mean, they
it's been
didn't
a little while.
necessarily say that, but they were like, "Have you heard anything about your?" And it's like, do you think I like just threw it out the window and said somebody stole it? Like, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
they
I'm not.
effectively, for both of us, effectively asked like, hey, can you do the cop stuff? I want to
Yeah,
go back to
it's like,
harassing
yeah,
a kid at a 7-Eleven.
yeah. Well, and it's like, um, I don't know, man. Yeah, people give shit. Like, the thing is, yes, they are. The thing is, they are pedestrians. They're not. They're pedestrians with the ability to uphold the law. That's their job.
They're just
And the thing is,
random
they're
dudes.
being paid to uphold the law. So, but for whatever reason, and a lot of it is like, obviously cops are shit in general, but the thing is, they have quotas that they have to meet.
Yes.
And if people aren't breaking the law, they have to find reasons to give people tickets.
And moreover, they've
so
got
that they can meet these quotas.
the reason for the tickets, the vast the major priority is to serve as a profit for the state and the oppressive systems we live under.
Mhm.
And it's a matter of,
Especially in the Chicagoland
yeah,
area.
specific. I'm talking specifically about our experience,
Yeah.
but this is throughout America. But like the idea is, we need revenue. So we're gonna give out tickets that are bullshit. We're gonna give out whatever we can to get money from people who aren't gonna be able to not pay this money. And it doesn't benefit anyone. Look at our parking situation. No one can park anywhere unless you pay a significant amount of money and you get ticketed. I've gotten ticketed for being parked at my own house and I had a contest. It's like, that's my driveway. I'm allowed to be in it. And they're like, oh, we didn't know. It's like, yes, you did. You were expecting someone to like not contest, to just pay it and keep going. Because that's job number one for them. And job number two is slave labor.
Well, and that's the thing about rich people is I've read this before, and I actually, like, my cousin, I guess he'd be my cousin-in-law. I don't know. He married my cousin. Anyway,
He's my regular cousin, but he's a lawyer.
um, Esquire.
Yeah.
My cousin Esquire. That's his name. They planned that way far ahead of time. He's Jewish after all, and he actually is Jewish. Anyway, um, he he constantly doesn't have license plates, I think, or like he has them, but he just doesn't put them on his car.
Mhm.
And then he also drives down the street that you're definitely not supposed to drive down. And all he does is like, yeah, if I get a ticket, I pay it. And it's like, because he's rich, he has a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer. I don't know, he's not a lawyer, but he does actually have a lot of money.
Go drive all the way. You can.
Yeah, they're pulling over like an idiot because you're supposed to go left to left, and they went left to right. Anyway. I like your I like your road intimidation techniques. You give him a very firm thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's solid work there, buddy. But yeah, so the thing is, they just bank on people like that who are just like, they have more money than they know what to do with, so paying a $30 or even up to $100 fine really isn't that much of a deal for them.
Yeah.
You know, or like people just parking in front of restaurants in a no parking spot, and they're like, you can't park there. It's like, well, I'll just get a ticket and I'll pay it.
And that's why there are countries, and we're never going to have it in America. But there are countries where tickets and fines and stuff are made as a percentage of income. So that because the current system is especially in Chicago, harass people who have less money because they can't get like a lawyer. They'll just pay it, whatever. Maybe they'll
or they won't pay it, or they'll eventually go to prison. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they haven't been paying their tickets.
And for like richer people, it's like, well, they'll pay it off because they don't care.
The easiest way to get a warrant for someone's arrest is to have enough parking tickets built up.
Exactly.
That's probably the best way that they get most people for extreme bullshit.
Because the truth is,
I'm sure they catch people like that and then get drugged. I mean, they got fucking what's his the Al Capone on tax evasion.
Yeah,
I'm sure they catch people like that, but that's still a shitty way to go about business.
They all have this fucking wet dream about like being like constantly in danger and persecuted, but they very explicitly, intentionally go after the least violent people to put them in prison because they don't want to deal with actual crime. Why would they want to?
And the thing, and there's I respect the military slightly more than cops, although I'm not a huge fan of what they do. But there's lots of people who are just like, I need money to go to school.
I need to be able to get through college.
Yeah,
and I will say,
it's like I understand that part of it.
From my experience, I'm very anti-military, very anti. Yeah, I'm a pacifist, whatever the fuck. But I have, from the people I've met who go into the military, I have met people who were, act like scumbags and were like, yeah, I'm doing it, fuck you for, you pussy for not, whatever. Yeah. But I have met people who said they wanted to go into the military and went into the military because they wanted to do the right thing. And they're like, well, I want to help people. I want to help us be like a freer, safer country. And I completely disagree with the mode of doing it. But it's like coming from that place. The people I've met who want to go into being a cop, I've known 2 and only 2 that said they wanted to do it because they wanted to help out, make the community safer because they've seen bad cops and they want to make it better. And of those 2, one of them dropped out of doing it because he realized it was impossible. And he was like, yeah, everyone here is like awful and has threatened me, or says just awful environment. And it's just like, you get told straight away, you can't do that. And it's just like such a broken, fucked up thing. And as I think you were getting at, it's like not actually dangerous. Unless you're going to go and be like a SWAT guy, and even then, not really.
That's the thing. Your everyday suburban cop is not the hero that everybody makes out cops to be. There are plenty of cops who have done heroic things. I will not deny that. That is a very true thing. There are facts behind that. There are facts about, good people with guns or whatever. I'm still against guns, all that bullshit. But
and you could go the other way and look at how much good for communities gang members have done.
Yeah, that's also very true.
It's like any subset of people is going to have good people, and I'm going to tell you, I have significantly more trust in gang members than in cops.
Yeah. Because gang members, at least, anytime that I have been in a situation where it's like, I probably shouldn't be in this neighborhood, or this is not an area I should be in. Somebody came up to me and told me, hey, this is not an area you should be in. They warned me, basically, and it's like, all right, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't take it as a threat. I'm like, okay, I will leave now. That's fine. I have nothing to do here. My friend's buying weed. We're leaving. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And
so it's like, that's the thing, and that's the thing about gentrification too that I don't like. It's like, just understand that, I don't know, man. That's we can make neighborhoods nice and then also not make the rent go up. That sounds like a good idea.
And that's
because you're forcing gentrification by forcing people who have lived there for ages who can barely afford to pay the rent as it is, and then their rent goes up because the neighborhood is nicer, i.e. whiter.
That's why we need rent control. And what the issue is, the rich people who want, oh, it'd be nice if we could clean up Wrigleyville a little bit. It's a little rough around the edge. Did you see that?
No.
After the Cubs won the World Series, I saw this article came out saying they're trying to clean up the
because everybody decided to start going to Cubs games and they realized, oh, the surrounding area is shit. And
it's not.
Is it not? Oh, no, that's the Sox. That's the Sox.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Wrigleyville's surrounding area is fucking just more Wrigleyville. But I have to assume someone saw a homeless person and called the cops. Like it's just
Mm.
insane. And the thing is, if we just taxed the wealthy, if like that's how things worked, then the people in the Gold Coast would be able to pay for communities throughout Chicago's like less wealthy areas. They would be able to pay for like better schools and shit. And
Mm-hmm.
it's one fucking city. So you can absolutely spread that wealth, but they won't do that.
Yeah.
They'd
And
rather just
also,
kick out anyone poor.
something I just realized, because as a mathematician, I understood this, but then I realized not a lot of people really get the idea about taxes. When we say 90% tax on the rich, it's every dollar after they make
A
$10 million.
marginal tax, yeah.
So if they make 10 million in $1, that $1 gets 90%, but everything below that gets whatever, percentage it's supposed to. Like,
Exactly.
so it's not like, and the thing is, even if they did, $1 million ain't that bad.
No. Now I gotta
you
fill up
can,
gas,
you can
so
still, I could
you can
talk
keep
at
talking.
myself
I'm gonna
or
do this.
whatever.
Yeah, do whatever.
Um, well, Pepsi Hotdog is gone. I just want to let you all know that we're good law-abiding citizens, and I work for the police, and I'm going to get him one day on something, probably, probably tax avoidance, as he is a Jewish man, or Jewish person, not a man. I guess he talked about that, but we will. We'll talk more about that. That's also part of the reason why we need to arrest them. We don't need any more of these crazies out in the world. Also, I know this isn't after the fact, but this was all a joke. Please don't murder me. I guess there's no comments in Spotify or whatever, but don't do that. You probably can't even hear me, really. I'm mostly mumbling, although it picks up pretty well. Maybe. We'll see. He's filling up gas right now. He looks like a crazy person. Just dancing around with his hands over his head. Just screeching like a monkey. It's a really good car. It's soundproof. Yeah. Yeah, now he's taking his pants off. He's shitting into the gas tank. Okay, well I guess that's one way to fill it up. Um, it's I would go for pissing. It's more liquid, but maybe his shits are liquidy. I don't know. I'm not too inclined about his health, but maybe. I mean, I guess the fact that he's doing all the other stuff is probably not good for his health either. But I don't question, the way people live their lives. Uh, Mr. Pepsi Hot Dog here. He's almost. It looks like he's almost done shitting. So and it's still and the gas station is charging him to shit in his own tank. That's insane. It's almost at $20. That's Chicago for you. Pay you make you pay to take your own shits. We're almost at that. I've actually. Guess we'll talk about it more when he gets in here. But I've been in. I went to Thailand like once about like probably like 5 years ago, and I'm not really that cultured. Just I have a rich uncle. Anyway, um, he or while we were there, I was at like a train station. I had to pay to get into the bathroom, and it was very new to me. And apparently, that's something happening around America, which I don't understand. I feel like shitting should be a right, like not a privilege. You have to, like even people are like, oh, it's only 25 cents. Like go fuck yourself. It should be no cents. No zero coins in order to take my shit or pee. Like that's absolutely insane. And the thing is, you can't go outside and pee because then you get fucking more things about cops. You can get tickets for urinating in public. It's insane. So it's like what it. Well, I mean, I guess we don't do it in public. I do it outside all the time. Go to the alley. Usually when it's dark. Well, and mostly when I was drinking. I don't drink anymore. But and now that I don't drink, I don't leave the house because I don't. Because the only reason I left the house was to go to bars. Well, I guess I'm leaving the house now, but whatever. It's weird to talk to yourself for this long. Goddamn. Tank was empty. And bladder was full. Or colon. His colon was full. Does it? No, does it just pass through your colon? Does shit stay in your colon? I don't know. He's finishing up, he's closing up, pulling up his pants, hiking up his belt, waving to people. Right. And here he comes. Back in the car. Hopefully most of that got picked up because I realized about 2 minutes in I was mumbling a lot, so I don't know. But it was all absolute bullshit.
Big update to the people listening.
Jesus Christ. Your tank is empty.
My tank was empty. So I have the rewards program for this gas station, and I'm not going to name it because I don't want to advertise them because they suck ass. But I'm on their rewards program, and usually it's 5 cents off per gallon. Depending on what I'm doing, I might get a little bit more off per gallon. I don't know why. I don't know what I did in the last whatever to trigger this. I got 35 cents off per gallon.
Per gallon?
Per gallon. I got
And
that
you
was
still paid that much? Jesus, you have a huge tank.
It's a large tank, but it was I got 280 per gallon at 315 per gallon. So I paid 280. So
Jesus.
that's why I got a full tank. 'Cause I usually only get like $10, but I was like, I'm not getting that again anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Oh, yeah. No, that's nice.
So,
So anyway, I can just a little kind of thing. I was saying that you were shitting into your gas tank
yes,
at one point.
absolutely.
And and I was talking about since we were on the talking about like tickets and stuff in America being weird. Is that there? I wasn't. I mean, I guess you can cut out the part where I said it. But anyway,
I don't think I can.
paying for toilets. Paying for toilets is what I was talking about.
Paying
Like
for toilets.
paying to go into the toilet and use the bathroom.
We don't
it's
have
like-
that as much.
We don't have that as much, but I think it's going to start happening.
Maybe, but like I went to Europe and like that's the norm.
Yeah.
You like even at a restaurant, they don't.
Yeah.
You just have to pay the water closet fee.
Yeah, but it's like I don't. That's insane. Shitting should be a right.
I agree.
Especially
There should be
like
public
in
spaces.
in the world of like it's not like we're in fucking you know shit dealing with like aqueducts or whatever. Like
Right.
we have centralized water plumbing and like everything works fine.
Here's
Like
the
there's
thing.
really no reason.
And it's the same as with so many issues we can have with this country. But if I knew my shit tax was being put to like improving the infrastructure and putting, water, fresh water into communities of need, and whatever, then I'd be like, okay, fine, I'd be willing to pay $1 every time I had to go use the toilet. But the issue is, it wouldn't be doing that.
At least not in America.
No, of course not.
No, but
I don't know if
maybe
that's
in
how it
Europe.
works in Europe. I doubt it. I think it's just like a way to make money. But, even
Yeah, they
then,
have taxes on a lot of stuff in Europe. Like apparently like back to school clothes or whatever. Like or like there's like a weird clothing, I think it's called VAT or something. It's a really crazy tax and it like varies by age and size. So if you happen to like have an older kid or like a bigger kid, then you have to pay more for their clothes. And it's like a bunch of weird stuff like that. But yeah, I'm glad I mean I guess we don't have stuff too much like that. It varies from state to state here though. That's the thing.
yeah, and it's just,
'Cause
it's that
we have a
concept.
clothing tax, but if you go to Minnesota, you can buy all the clothes you want, no tax.
And it's this issue of like people are complaining about, well, under socialism you have to pay this much tax, and like you were saying with the 70%, because again, 90% marginal tax rate is what we used to have. 70% is all Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was proposing, so it's less than we used to have.
Yeah,
and it's just saying the like top whatever percent of your income, the amount that you actually, if you're that wealthy, are not going to need. That's not money you're using. Like with Jeff Bezos having like 1 million fucking houses he doesn't live in.
Yeah.
It's just like we're going to take some of that money, and that's really not a lot of money, and it only impacts very, very, very wealthy people who, again, don't need that money. And I'm not just saying I don't think anyone needs that much money, but I'm like they would still be a fucking billionaire. Like it's literally it's pocket change to them.
Yeah, and we'll get more into this later, well,
You
maybe
will?
more of the fantastical parts of it later. The Notre Dame fire, the fact that all these people, it took
Oh yeah.
less than 24 hours, or less than I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, less than 48 hours
Yeah.
to get over $600 million. If you dump that into Flint, you could rebuild
I do
you could
believe
rebuild Michigan with that much money.
I do believe that
Like,
70 million or something. I don't remember the amount. I just read
mhm.
something. Just got put to restoring water in Flint. I don't
Yeah,
know. I am not 100%, don't quote me on it.
okay,
But
but I mean,
it's an
that's
improvement.
literally a fraction. It's the one
Yeah,
tenth, slightly more than 1/10,
and it does because it's the
and it's
issue.
affecting people. The other
Yeah.
thing didn't even hurt anybody.
No,
Who
and
gives a shit?
the issue is this is a very public highlight of a problem, and I'm happy that I'm not happy that the cathedral fire happened. I'm happy that I'm
You
seeing,
robbing this house here?
yeah, we're gonna rob this house. I'm happy that people are criticizing this right now because, yeah, this much money immediately fixing a problem, and it just highlights the farce we live in, where it's this capitalistic wet dream of, oh, the very wealthy will give back to the community, and
And
they
they
never
never
do.
do.
And you look now,
Trickle down economy never
and
was
who are they
going to
helping?
happen.
The Catholic Church, who has
Is
a
is
shitload of
worth
money.
like 300, or worth like 30 billion or something,
Exactly. And it's
which
not
is
even in America.
30,000, or no, it's 300 times, or yeah,
Yeah.
30,000 times more than a million.
And it
It's
highlights,
like, so like,
I believe it highlights the issue of like open borders, of like in the left philosophy of saying like we should have open borders, we should all like, just live as a global community, have all the money go to all of us, whatever.
mm-hmm.
And you hear these wealthy, people in power saying like, "Oh, that's insane," and then they fork over millions to France, but it's because it's for a rich people thing, and it's like, no, this is what we want. We just want it for like, hey, let's help out poor communities in Abu Dhabi. Let's help out poor communities in fucking Germany, like wherever the fuck the
Or
entire global community can just pay to fix things together and help each other out. And
yeah.
America serves as like a perfect
And
model
the
of,
thing is, the Notre Dame isn't it's not like a investment, right?
no
It's not like
one's
they're
gonna
buying a
benefit.
piece of the profit. Yeah, they're not benefiting from it at all,
They're
and
just
they're
being
willing to do it. So why aren't they willing to do it for
exactly,
anybody else?
exactly. And it's America serves as a perfect model for how this could work because we have all of these states. We all have like our own culture and identity and stuff going on inside
Mm-hmm.
of the states, but
Mm-hmm.
we pay for a nationwide uh possible like giving back in terms of taxes, where it's like we're
Yeah.
going to pay state and federal taxes, that but on a global scale, and it like scares people, but it's like we could just have that, we could
Mm-hmm.
all just help each other. And it's frustrating because obviously that'll never happen.
Yeah.
We will never see that happen. But to see the wealthy people going around saying it's impossible and stupid, and then being like, I'm going to give millions of dollars to this specific building in France, do not tax me,
It's like,
and do not expect me to help anyone else.
yeah, exactly. And it's, well, and then the thing is, you know what's going to happen, right? The donations that they sent to that church, they're going to use that to evade a portion of their taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you donate to charity, you pay less taxes.
Of course.
So that donation was, I guess it does benefit them in the end because they don't have to pay as much taxes at the end, and they feel good about helping Notre Dame. Or
Well,
whatever.
some of these were like from Disney, and I'm sure they pay zero in taxes anyways.
True.
How can you evade taxes when you don't even
Disney.
have to fucking pay them? And that's like talking about Al Capone. Regular human criminals get busted on shit like that, whereas like Amazon literally
Human
doesn't have
criminals.
to pay taxes.
What? But the awful thing is, and that's why we need to change the laws, is because they're doing it legally. That's the worst
problem.
part. Is
And
they're
that's
doing it legally,
and that
we
comes
need to
down.
get rid of that part that lets them get away with it illegally.
And that's
make it
why
legal.
cops are a problem, because at the end of the day, their entire purpose is to defend laws. And if you live in a country where those laws are in and of themselves unjust,
Mm-hmm.
then to defend them is inherently unjust.
Yeah.
And, like, are there laws that should be enforced? Yeah, it's good to have murder be illegal. It's good to have rape be illegal. But, like, the issue we run into that we need to address, and I don't know if we're ever going to have a president willing to do so, because Obama was very lukewarm on it and wouldn't say it, and he both sides did, but, people didn't criticize him the way they did with Trump when it was about Nazis, is these cops are Klansmen, wife beaters, sexual assaulters, and murderers. So, like, I don't support them just because I think those things should be illegal because they're criminals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, until the system is completely rebuilt, there's no reason to say, well, but they're putting their lives on the line. It's like, I'm putting my life on the line every fucking day I go out and exist.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
Yeah, okay, so, and the thing is, people are like, oh, you can generalize or whatever, but there's, like, statistics, like, what is it, 40% or something are white beaters? And it's like, imagine if 40% of the people you knew punched you in the face every time they saw you.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. That's a lot. That's a lot of people.
Yes.
And that's too many people. So, and that's what's happening, is there are these people who are criminals taking care of the criminals, quote unquote.
And these same fucking people, like, if you told them, like, 40% of immigrants from Mexico beat their wives, you know how they'd respond. You tell them 40% of police officers do, it's like, well, you don't know how hard it is. Like, shut the fuck up. This is our second episode of just about bashing cops. I'm okay with it.
It's not going to be the last, I assure you.
Probably not.
As long as they keep doing shit. I saw a thing that was Republicans are getting mad about Google search terms, like God. being mean to Republicans, and it's like, and like the guy who was running the hearing was like, this is bullshit. We don't think, like, this is a free speech talk. Like, you guys are fine. There's really absolutely no reason to have this, but we're here, so whatever. And it's like, he's like, yeah, it's based on what other people search. It's based on what people are looking up. So if you want to be seen as good, do good things.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be seen as bad, don't do bad things.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, and that's how it is with cops. It's like, and then they show the video of the cop in the inner city playing basketball with the kid. It's like, all propaganda. Right, sure,
they send a guy out and tell him, like, hey, go record this guy playing basketball with one of those black kids. It's like, okay. And are there cops who genuinely care about their communities? Fine. And people, like, just dwell on this concept, and it's like, listen, these same people who try to be like facts and logic. It's like, statistics don't lie on how many cops are really doing that, and whether or not the ideology they're going in with is that. I don't care about the individual. I'm not going to go up to every individual cop and be like, you're a bad person, because I don't give a shit. But the system is the problem.
Yeah. And also, if you wanted to go up to an individual cop and tell them they are a bad person, they're within their rights to act as anybody would if you told them that they were a bad person. They can either take it and leave, or get in an argument with you, but they have no right to arrest you. Just because they're a police officer, rudeness is not illegal. Rudeness, rudeness is bad and it's frowned upon, but you can be rude to a person. Like, I saw a video today, and it was a guy being pulled over by a cop, and at the end, she revealed or whatever that, like, he drove past her and, like, rolled down his window and said oink oink, and it's like, all right, but, like, he didn't do anything illegal. He was an asshole, and that's fine. People are assholes.
The other thing is, like, we have, and we're sitting. What the hell was it? Oh, that was your phone. Oh, that was a bird.
No, it was fucking it was Tim Allen. Yeah, it was the Tim Allen bird.
Yeah. I was saying, like, with the Trump thing and the Mueller redacted report, and people were saying, well, like, because there's no, what was it? Barr was saying, like, well, because there was no collusion, the obstruction of justice is not illegal, because he wasn't guilty, so he couldn't have been obstructing justice. And, like, people are pointing out, like, that's not true.
That's also...
And that's not a defense.
Weird backwards logic.
Well, the thing is, like, that is a flawed system. And like the problem is you take that to the smaller level and you've got activists at Ferguson getting arrested and getting charged and kept in prison for resisting arrest when they hadn't committed an initial crime. And it's like there should not be any legal allowance for a cop to arrest you and charge you as a criminal for trying to not get arrested when you did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Or they wait for you to do something wrong. Like in the cases there were, I remember hearing about protests in California against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You can protest in front of City Hall. That's a public area. You can be there and protest, but then people started like walking around in like non-public areas, and then they were getting arrested.
Yeah.
So it's like they wait for that because they know they can't do anything while you're there. But then also, yeah, and then they can use bullshit like, they were expecting violence or whatever. Like they can, read the minds of people or whatever. I mean, that's how they get away with shooting people who don't have guns.
Here's the problem.
Like they were like, I thought he was going to shoot me. Like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Look at how often we've seen cops do that and they're wrong. And look at how many times like a person has been murdered or injured in some way by a police officer when they were completely innocent. There should be laws. A, the anti-lynching laws should include police officers, and B, there should be laws saying that you are defended for you are able to commit an act of self-defense against a police officer. Because look at the state of things. It should be legal to defend yourself against a cop if we live in a country where cops are regularly killing or injuring innocent people. They are a danger to society. And instead we get Blue Lives Matter bills saying they're a protected class. And it's like, no, they're not. I mean, literally they are. They're the most protected class. They don't need this.
And they didn't need that law in the first place. Yeah, they were already pretty...
It's saying like, hey, it's illegal to be mean to cops. And it's like, no, it's not though. All this is saying is, hey...
I've worked at plenty of jobs where people have been huge assholes, and you can't do anything about it except maybe be an asshole back to them. But the way that works with cops is being an asshole back to them is giving them a ticket for no reason.
Exactly.
Or trying to find them for something that they didn't do or whatever. Yeah.
Or in your
case, just keeping license plates and using them when they're bored.
Exactly. Every single like service job or food or retail job deserves more legal defense for wrongdoing than a police officer.
Yeah.
Let's go get coffee.
Okay, where are we going?
All right, so we have our coffee.
All right, here we got a good brew ready to bash cops some more. No. Well, actually, we could bash hipsters for a little while since we were just at a hipster coffee place.
I've never been one for that. I get it. I think my issue with the whole hipster subculture, which is mostly dead now because it's just like modern culture has been shifted in the way, like how hippies shifted things in the 60s. So not everyone became a hippie, but it was like just more common shit.
Yeah.
Like I think the issue with the hipster subculture that existed in the mid 2000s was those who were acting in the actual meaning of the term, being disingenuous and pretending to like or dislike things simply for aesthetics. And the majority of people who got criticized,
which is why my buddy thinks you hate quaintness, just because you're trying to be a hipster about it.
Yeah, and it's like, no, that's not what I genuinely... You're allowed to dislike things. And it's just
just because you don't like something popular doesn't mean that you like it, that you don't like it just because it's popular.
It means...
You don't like it because you have reasons to not like it.
Exactly.
That's okay.
And it's just...
There's plenty of things that I like that I know a lot of people would not like.
Yeah.
Like this podcast.
Yeah, right. And there's plenty of things I enjoy very, very genuinely that I would never try and push onto someone else. And I think a lot of the...
like avant jazz.
Avant jazz, yeah. I'm a big fan of it. I love it. It's what I like. And like even shoegaze, which is a little bit more accessible to a lot of people. I don't know, maybe it's less accessible to some people, more to others. Like, I genuinely enjoy it very much. And I don't push it onto other people. Queen fans don't understand that concept, which is fine because, whatever. To each their own.
Yeah.
But it's that idea.
Cubs fan.
Yeah, Cubs fans, where it's like, I'm not... I enjoy my things. You enjoy your things.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I think the greatest dichotomy between Cubs fans and Sox fans is one time, and only one time it happened. I was making a delivery back when I was working at don't want. I guess we don't want to get
Yeah.
so let's call it Jammy Jams. They're known for their
Pasta
Subway like
pies.
sandwiches, and like sandwiches that you would find in a Subway,
Yeah.
like the
Train.
place where trains are.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I delivered to a Sox fan, and there was a baseball game on TV, and he's like, "Hey, you a Sox fan?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not. I don't really watch baseball." He said, "Okay." That was the end of it. Every single Cubs fan I've ran into, I know they're a Cubs fan because they tell me at one point or another. And then if I tell them I don't like baseball, they tell me, "Oh, you could still like the Cubs," and it's like that's not how it works.
No, it is how it works for them because they are absolutely the
Well, and there's plenty of
definition.
people. Yes, I think it was. I saw two or three statuses of people about a week before the final game was like, does anybody have any white W flags? And it's like, it's a little late now. Like, they're
Yeah.
about to win the World Series. Like, you can't jump in now.
Yeah.
That's a stupid shit move. That's why, and like, I respect the Super Bowl more because at least it's just one game, And it's
Yeah.
like, but like,
And
people are like building up. It's like, oh, well, they're losing now. I'm not a fan. And it's like, oh, wait, no, they're winning again. And yeah, so
and
it's just stupid.
it comes down to the criticism of the hipster subculture of like disingenuously or liking or disliking things. And that's, so much with Cubs fans of just like you don't actually like it. You like the aesthetic of being this. And
Yeah,
like that
because they
exists
were the most
elsewhere.
hated team. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, they were.
It's just like, oh, calm the fuck down. You don't care about baseball. By the way, update. I spent 2 days in second place in my fantasy league. I'm now in third place, but
The last place team?
the last place Kings. I'm making
I'm not in the last place.
No, we're doing well.
I swear to God, if you win.
I really hope I do. I'm trying real hard. There's a bit of a gap, but I'm trying to make some moves. My pitching is terrible.
Still, if you still make top three, that's pretty great.
I might make top 3. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. But
That's great.
yeah,
I love
it's yeah. Cubs fans, Queen fans, this idea of like my thing is super popular, so if you don't like it, you're lying. And that's so much of anti-hipster bullshit was that where it's like I like a lot of things. I dislike things too.
Yeah.
Everyone is like that.
Yeah.
Just calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
And like I have an issue with, so many absolutely like the people who were genuinely hipsters
Yeah.
and like pretended to dislike or like things to try and get like moral high ground on things or to be like I'm better than you because I like or dislike this. But
Yeah.
that exists in so many people.
Yeah.
And it's just like shut everyone.
I mean, with everything, if you're a Cubs fan because you grew up watching the Cubs games with your dad and you got real close with him that way, or
Yeah.
with your family, like that's fine to be a Cubs fan. It
I know
brings
plenty
good
of
memories
Cubs
or
fans,
whatever.
and I was super happy
That's
they got
why
to see
you're a
them
Sox
win.
fan. That's why I like watching football. Like it's something that like even if I'm not super into all the inner workings of the people or whatever anymore.
People
It's like,
enjoy
yeah.
things.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you can like or dislike whatever, but if you have no reason other than other
You
people
want to
like
be a
it,
fan
then
of
that's
it.
silly.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if that's how it starts, okay, it's like,
Yeah.
like everybody likes, such and such artist. Okay, I'll listen to them. I'll give them a try. Okay, I like them. But don't just like outright like it without, like there are plenty of things that and I used to be like that when people are like, oh, do you know this and this? And it's like, oh yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, yeah, I like their music or whatever. And it's like, I had no idea who the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, oh no, I have no idea. I'm sorry, I don't listen to that much different stuff. I have like 20 songs that I listen to most of the time, and that's about it.
And yeah, it's
and the rest is shitty podcasts like ours.
Exactly right. Okay, I gotta run in and run a little errand.
What are you grabbing?
I just gotta grab a couple of 6-packs of Diet Coke.
Okay. If you want to go there, you can use the bathrooms there. Maybe we can get some
recording
pizza to go. Oh, cool, recording. Oh, here, let me get my coffee out. Put the phone in the middle there.
Bada bing. All right.
Uh,
And I don't know where we even left off that conversation.
I don't know, but
Oh,
I'm
Cubs
breaking a
fans
law.
suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone
it
sucks.
should
It's
be.
the same as driving. Everyone who likes or dislikes anything is wrong except for me.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
pretty much how I feel
Uh,
about it. Do you think they'll let us bring in our coffee?
Um, I mean, I'm probably going to be done with mine by the time we get there, so.
I might be, buddy. You can do a lot of things right now. One of them includes moving your car. That's a thing you
Oh,
can do.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. You made it. You made it.
Oh, man.
I'm
It
very
was.
proud of you.
So, for those of you who don't live around here, which is most of you in Lebanon,
Yeah.
and Peru, or wherever other place,
I mean,
Puerto Rico.
throughout America, we've got a lot of states represented.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll look up the stats at some point, but I think we got people like in every general region of the country.
Or we just have one person who
True.
has like an IP changer
Oh,
and
God,
just
yeah.
listens to our stuff over and over.
I thought you were going to say someone who just drives around the country nonstop, listening to our
listening to our
podcast.
podcast over and over, all 5 episodes or 4. How many do we have out? 5?
Well, it depends on what you're defining as an episode. Because if we're including,
so, fun facts and sad truths.
if
The
it was
main,
just
the main
that,
show.
I think we're at 5.
Yeah.
For all
These
of our
don't. These are
episodes.
just us ranting about stupid bullshit that we care about that
Oh,
we
yeah.
have no other way to let out other than into the ether of the internet.
Yeah. But you have anything else you wanted to talk about in terms of serious conversations? Oh, this guy's got a "Don't Tread on Me" sticker on his shitty car.
Oh, what? He looks like a fucking teabagger.
Totally, dude. This is you can just
And he's got one of those like extra light things on the front of his car.
oh yeah, and
Or
an
like
American
the thing
flag.
that makes it look like a. They make it look like a cop car.
He's dressed like a
He
Mormon.
doesn't look like a cop.
Oh, he's not a cop.
He just wants to be.
Look at his shitty shirt and pants.
Yeah.
He's carrying.
It's like it's fine to dress like a Mormon. They're spiffy people, but we're not in a place where Mormons are.
No.
Like if we were in Salt Lake City, I'd be like, all right, cool, Mormon.
And
I'm all about
shoes. Of course, he's got boat shoes. There's not even water near here, man. Anyways, fucking shitty car. He's driving. Yeah, he's driving a cop car for the aesthetic of having a shitty car.
Oh yeah, it is a Dodge Charger too. It's a cop car. For those of you who don't know, our suburb has Dodge Chargers as their cop cars because they need to catch the 80-year-old ladies who are going 5 miles over the speed limit.
I don't like more recent cop cars. I feel like cop cars should stay looking dumb and old because that's what the system of our current legal criminal justice system is. Dumb, old.
Yeah. If they're gonna update anything, update the laws. Don't update all the shit that help to protect the shitty old laws.
Yeah.
I was watching a video. I'm not a huge fan of Vice, but sometimes they throw out something that's interesting. And there was one guy who was like breaking ancient laws in Europe. And like, one was like, if you wear a suit of armor in Parliament, you can get your head chopped off, and that's still like a law that's in effect to this day. And like obviously they didn't cut his head off, but it's just like just going and breaking stupid laws, and it's like there are so many of those, but then also in America there's a lot of that are still being upheld.
No,
and that shouldn't be. Like
love this.
Like I don't even like. The recreational use of, marijuana, whatever. Like I don't believe people should be out on the street necessarily smoking weed, like walking down the street smoking a joint, because there's no reason to be doing that. Be in a place or like in your backyard or something, like smoke all you want.
I'm not joking with this comment. Everything in moderation. Because I was thinking the other day, it would be really lovely and nice to have just go to like a nice little public park and maybe have like a bottle of wine. Sit down, have a picnic or something, but you can't do that because public drunkenness. And it's like, I'm not going to get shit-faced in public. And it's just like, everything in moderation. Some things should be legal.
Yeah.
Are we going?
Well, and it's like, and I even, like, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but I don't care if people do smoke cigarettes. They can be around me. They can be standing outside the bar, whatever. Like, I'm not going to yell at them like, hey, move, I don't smoke, get out of here, but it's like, there are plenty of people who are like that. And it's like, they're already outside, first of all. But it's like, I feel like enough of a dick walking down the sidewalk, smoking a cigarette, walking past people You know, so it's like that's why I stopped.
Yeah.
That's not why, but that's like part of like, you know, when I realized like maybe I shouldn't do this. But like yeah, like it should be allowed in your premises though. Like if you know, I understand people who are, you know, in like a public park or whatever, maybe not because there might be kids around or whatever, and like
There should
weed,
just be,
any intoxicating thing like weed, drinking, like any of that is bad for people under a certain age, which
yes,
is
I
why there's
think
a certain age to
we
start doing
need
it.
more public spaces for more things. And I was like, there's some online post about like, can you imagine how many people would like go to libraries if they were open? Like if there was like late night library shit where you could go like bottle of wine and just hang out at the library because there's no public places in America where like you can just always go there for free just to be there.
Yeah,
It's everything
because yeah,
is
that's the
so
thing. I read something where it's like the library is the last or one of the last places where you can go and spend no money and nobody will pester you to spend money. Anywhere else you go, people are like, are you going to buy something? Are you going to get some food? Are you going to
even
get some gas or
yeah.
whatever? Like, you know, like somebody's going to pester you for money, but at the library, nobody gives a shit.
We
And
should
when books are late, it's like 10
absolutely
cents a day. Who gives a shit?
ban loitering laws. Get rid of them. Because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you cannot legally exist here without having some money to spend on something. Fuck off. This land is my land. This land is
Yeah,
your
and the
land.
thing is, as long as you're not bothering people, because I work at a tobacco store, and we have plenty of people who sit outside pestering people. Hey, you got $1? Hey, you got some money? And it's like when you're being an asshole and like asking people over and over and getting upset when they don't give you money, then get the fuck out of there. But if you're just sitting there because you need a place to sit down and there's a ledge, like, all right, cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'd be just as upset if there was like some rich kid bothering someone, be like, hey, you know, you got something for me? Let me get stuff. Like, you know, do something for me. Like, I would be very upset. So it's like I don't care that they're homeless or whatever.
And
I
think
care
it's
that they're
fine.
bothering people who are coming into my store and then complaining to me about it.
I disagree even. I like I've had homeless people come into the restaurant and be like asking people like, hey, can I have some food? Can I have some money? You know, if you can buy me something. I'm like, I'm technically supposed to kick them out. And it's like, you know what? Do ya? Because like,
Well, you're
let people get stuff, you know. And I know
Yeah,
I'm
well,
actually
you're-
kind of in charge, so I'm allowed
well,
to make that
and
call.
you also work at a place that serves food. I work at a place that serves cigarettes, so they
Yeah.
get money from them and then buy cigarettes and stuff, which
Yeah.
is not what the people giving them the money want them to spend their money on, but it's also their money as soon as they hand it over, so they shouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't care. I just tell people like, yeah, I mean, they might use it for cigarettes, but that's on you if you want to give them money.
So we've only got an hour's worth of time we're allowed to record for a specific segment,
Okay.
and this segment's gonna hit that. So I think
Yeah.
table this
I think
conversation.
we're good.
We're done. So thank you. This was podcasters and cars getting coffee, and
This is after the fact, before the fact, with no facts at all.
good night, everybody.